We're with Julie Heisey, head coach of the SPU women's basketball team. Falcons getting ready to start their season this week with a tournament in California. Coach, how you've had some scrimmages, you've had 2 or 3 weeks of practice. What have you seen out there so far? What are your thoughts?
I've seen a lot of hard work. I like our team. They are very, very coachable. They come ready every day, and it's competitive, and that makes it really, really fun. And so, I think early on especially, I think if you would have walked in, you would have been surprised that we had lost 4 seniors.
Okay.
But unfortunately, we've had a few injuries, so now we have a few less bodies on the floor.
Okay. with that or some of the others, stepping up and trying to make sure
Yeah.
that they fill in those spots.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it does change things, and I think that's where our depth is different, and we lost some experience because we were really counting on Madison Wright to come in and be able to help us. She's a junior academically, and she played a year last year at Southern Utah. So anyway, but yeah, we've continued to get better, and it's been nice to have some scrimmages and opportunities to see ourselves in game situations.
Okay. From among your returning players, who are some you're really counting on this year? What are you expecting from some of them?
Well, I think, we have some kids, Molly, Bree, Stacy, Hannah. Those kids played in a lot of games, and I think Rachel, just having been around and being in some key situations last year in relieving Sue, she's done a lot of things, and so for sure, I think those older girls, their leadership is really important, and I think they understand what it means to be ready every night and be consistent. Okay. I mean, Hannah and Molly have both started, a lot of games. Obviously, Hannah has been a regular starter. Molly stepped in the lineup many times in the last few years, and Bree's done it. So I think that's all important, that they understand what it means to get ready on the road, how to be ready, just that consistency factor, and having that experience in those situations. And Stacy, I think, has just been a tremendous leader and kind of been, glue and someone that, even though she's young, I think our girls look to her a lot on the floor.
And that's one of those nice intangibles that every team needs to have.
Yes, yeah.
All right. You're going to have a mostly new starting lineup this year, obviously having graduated 4 of them. Who are some of the players who've maybe stepped up and put themselves in the running for some of those spots?
I think we have a lot of depth, and I think, the Lakers always talked about that 6th man and really that 6th, 7th man, and they're all starters, and I really feel like that's what we have this year. I feel like we have 7 kids that could start on any given night, and, there's no question all of our kids have improved a lot, but I think Courtney and Jordan have really improved. They got a lot of good minutes last year, but they've just really worked on just becoming more well-rounded players, and they've always given great effort, and they've been good defenders, but I think their rebounding and their ability to score has just changed. They're just more assertive offensively, and that's really exciting.
Okay. With a new starting group like that, what kinds of things will be important for the first few games? What are you looking for out there as a coach from these kids?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, you have to always control what you can control, and rebounding and defense are going to be really, really important as we go on to the road the first 5 games, and they're all hard games, and there's a lot of unknowns because Humboldt has lost 3 really good players and from their starting lineup, and Fresno Pacific has a lot of new players. San Diego's they lost some key starters. Azusa has really the only ones that have most of their nucleus back. So I think going into those games, there's a lot of unknowns. So it has to be really about us and the things that we can control. And that's for sure just being mentally ready in defense and rebounding.
Last year you had a lot of good freshmen on the team. Now they're a year older. What's the biggest difference you've seen in that group as you had to see them out on the practice court?
I think Lindsay, Erica, Jordan, Courtney, I think they just took last year and last spring and the summer to really work on their skills. They all had that opportunity, but I think after you play a year, you kind of know what it takes, and you also know I belong. And a tremendously hard-working group of girls, and I think they've really come back just more skilled and more confident.
Obviously, unfortunately, Madison out with an injury for the year, but you've got some other newcomers out there. Talk about some of them and what they bring to the team.
Well, right now, the only new one on the floor is Jaylee and Julia. Jaylee Albert's a freshman from Montana, and she's going to get a lot of minutes at point guard this year. She was the MVP of the state tournament last year in Montana. She's a coach's daughter. Jaylee has a really steady personality, and just in our last scrimmage, she came in and she really does a great job looking for that up court pass. And so that was really fun just to be able to see her come in and help us make a little run the other day. But she's done a good job, and I think Julia, was one of our freshmen that had redshirted last year because she tore ACL. And Julia's just strong, and she's a good rebounder and really can do some things on defense that you just can't teach.
Okay.
So that's exciting. And Riley will be another good newcomer. There's still some unknowns about her, but she's a tremendous shooter, and she just really has a great understanding of the game.
With this particular group, what do you see as a real strong suit? Is this a good defensive team, a good disciplined team, good shooting team? What are you seeing out there?
Well, I think there's still a lot of unknowns, but I think, kind of what I've already highlighted on. This is a group that I'm never going to have to worry about. Are they going to work hard? They're always going to work hard. They're always going to compete, and they're always going to be coachable. I mean, that's a coach's dream. But, I mean, those are just three things that they're going to be really good at. And I think, we've talked a lot about we're not going to have a star, but our team's going to be the star. And I think that's where just understanding how to work together and bring out the best in each other are going to be things that I think our team, it's who we are. And I think that's going to be a positive.
Do you see the chemistry coming together fairly quickly with this group,
Yeah.
with so many new ones out there?
Yeah. They like each other. They've played a lot of basketball, and like I said, they like to share the ball. They like being in that big play. I mean, even Julia the other day, I asked her what she missed about playing last year, and she goes, "I just miss being on the floor and being part of that big possession where everybody did their part and something good happened." And I think that's really embodies the mentality of our team.
Boy, you start the season with 5 straight games on the road and some tough opponents. Just talk about that early season schedule and what you're looking for in these first few games from this group.
I think it's a great opportunity. We're going to grow up real fast, and I really do believe, with the things that our team holds dear, and that's being competitive and working and coaching. I think we're gonna be able. We have to go in and just play good defense. We have to be able to control the boards. We have to be able to come in and just be steady, and recognize that we're young and there's going to be, it's basketball's a game of runs, and you got to keep your head and you got to just keep playing hard. And but I don't know. We're going to take it one half at a time,
or 2 quarters at a time.
Yes, and just get ready. And I think that's what's made us good in practice. We've been pretty consistent, and I think we're young, and like I said, those other teams have some unknowns too. So we just have to go in and do the things that we've practiced and stay fundamental and control the things that we can control, and hopefully we get some good results.
And finally, you're starting your second decade here. This is your number 11. Does it
Decade, wow.
Does it seem like those first 10 have just flown by for you?
Well, I used to be the young coach. Now I'm the old coach. Yeah, it's amazing when I look at, especially my first group of kids, and I look at Carly Grant has 5 kids, and I look at some of the other girls having their second and third kids, and they're in their 30s, and it's been a wonderful journey, and I've been able to be a part of some really great teams and work with some incredible individuals, and I can't believe it's 11 years.
All right.